slowly and surely, the refusal of politicians to answer questions or acknowledge what happened during COVID seems to be paying off for them. They have been diligently sweeping COVID under the rug.
And therefore, while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated,
your phone was missing those 5,000 odd WhatsApps.
I don't know the exact reason.
Dictator and all this sort of stuff, that's all fine. If that makes people feel better by describing me in those terms, look, good luck.
I don't believe that your evidence stacks up.
Okay.
And I think
the lockdown in its severity and duration is likely to have generated costs that are greater than the likely benefit.
Well,
so I think
I wasn't aware of that at the time. I'm so sorry. I don't want to get into quality life assurance models.
Do you think, James, that politicians are going to get away with the crime of the century as far as COVID goes?
Look, nobody wants to admit they made terrible calls and they were pusillanimous and they ruined the lives of, myriad young people who didn't come from well-off middle-class homes. I mean, they'll never make up the lost school time.
The pandemic has still left a profound impact, very much so, on our children and their learning and development.
New test results show a significant drop in test scores and learning for elementary school-age children in the United States.
The evidence coming out of the U.S. on little kids who had to wear masks, they have all sorts of problems even speaking properly.
Developing children, for the most part, are not able to reference social cues or interpret facial expression.
There's no evidence that masks did anything. There's no evidence that closing schools was a good idea at any point. Even if you just look at the cumulative excess deaths per capita, our cumulative excess deaths are not as good as Sweden's. Because Sweden was the only country, along with some states in the US like Florida. Some of us at the time said this is crazy to throw away the plans that were based on 100 years of data, based on pseudo data coming out of the authoritarian China.
Prior to 2020, you would not find a single textbook of public health or set of guidelines that included an endorsement of the practice of quarantining the healthy.
Based on 2 weeks of Chinese data, we're going to shut down the entire economy. Well, this has led to massive problems on the economic front, and everybody knows that's the problem. And yes, you're right. I mean, these politicians are not going to admit that every call they made essentially was wrong.